look around and tell me what you see around you.
I'm sensing a...
What was that?
I was sensing a male figure that was indigenous, and it started with a kind of coyote headdress.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was getting that it was maybe somewhere like an Aztec.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm seeing some stairs.
Mm-hmm.
And I see figures carrying bodies up the stairs
Mm-hmm.
to get to a platform.
Mm-hmm.
The bodies are, I don't know if they're alive or maybe they're unconscious. And the figures that are carrying them have different headdresses on, and they have different decorations, like not clothes, but they're maybe beads strung along the chest as a kind of shirt, but not a shirt. It's beads, like a big necklace, but different shirt necklace thing.
Mm-hmm.
Some kind of ceremony that there's two main people, male, I believe, yes, that are carrying people up these stairs. It's like a pyramid, a ziggurat. It's a ziggurat with a platform on top.
Mm-hmm.
Could be Mayan.
Mm-hmm.
And the bodies that they're carrying are adults. They're not children.
Mm-hmm.
And they are unconscious, but they're alive.
Mm-hmm.
And they're at the top is a portal, but it's almost like a eye that is at the top, and I think it's an energetic eye that I'm seeing, and not like a painting at the top of the ziggurat. An energetic eye,
Mm-hmm.
and it's beautiful. It's very fractally and deep reds with bright yellows, and there's guides, and I'm not sure if I'm seeing real people. I'm seeing everything. I'm seeing the guides and the ancestors and the gods that are in this circle around this portal that I see as like an eye, but now it's becoming three-dimensional.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a sacred space. And I don't know what happened to the bodies. I would expect for them. Maybe they're lying there, but it's almost like once you enter into this space, reality doesn't exist anymore. And you are in the portal of the gods. And the unconscious bodies nothing really exists. It's just a complete quantum realm where what was intended for the sacrifice has immediately skipped the death part. And it went straight to the manifestation of the intention. There wasn't a death per se. It's like as soon as they got to the top, it was this portal to the gods, or portal of the gods, and everyone is standing around this fractal, energetic, moving portal that's darks and lights and sort of a column, but the energy's coming out. It's not a clear column, it's moving.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a space of reverie, and it is sacred, and it is the space of transformation, but it's the real purpose of death. It's the space around death and the purpose of it that is beyond what we have constructed death to be, because there is no death.
Mm-hmm.
So there were no tortured scenes or anything, no blood even. It just immediately went to this liminal space, this portal.
Mm-hmm.
And the circle of beings, corporeal and non-corporeal, I can't tell the difference here. And they are looking at or into this fractaline energy in the center.
Mm-hmm. What does that structure look like where they're going up? What kind of shape is it?
It's a moving shape that is almost like it's like the yellow and red of lava underneath the black stone of the cold lava.
Mm-hmm.
It's fractaling and moving in a fractal kind of way, and going from the top of this ziggurat to it's moving, so it's vertical, but it is not. It's coming in and out of the energy of this
Mm-hmm.
force.
What color is the structure?
It is the black and red and yellow. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's really like if you were looking down at like a volcano with the black, and then the yellow and red is moving around the cracks in the dark spaces.
Mm-hmm. Is it a tall structure?
It is. It goes beyond. It goes beyond existence, and the ziggurat is, and all pyramids are the special shapes that allow it to go into the earth at those different sites and portals that are specific to those locations on the earth, and the energy goes beyond the structure, beyond the vessel. It connects the energetic centers of the earth with the energy from above.
The people that you're seeing, what color is their skin?
The people that were coming during the induction and walking up the stairs were darker skinned, maybe like South America,
Okay.
Mexico.
So you don't, yeah.
Now the people that are standing around are this blend of, I'm not sure they're even people. It's just not the same. They're beings. They have maybe kind of almond shapes, as if there were feet, as if there were heads, and each one is different, but it's like they're this crescent shape that's sort of leaning in. It's not extremely leaning in, but they're standing around this portal, and I'm getting that they are the gods, that it is the gods of the people that were being carried up the pyramid, and then the people that were carrying, like they have transformed into more beautiful essences of themselves, the different aspect of their soul's occurrence at the top of this. So they're not colorful per se, with limbs and extremities like they're not necessarily human, what we expect to see as human, but it's a different form of the human. Maybe it's not the soul per se, also it is another dimension of the beings that are there.
Do those beings look like they have a physical body, or do they look like they have an energetic body?
They are an energetic body.
Okay.
But they have a physical form. It's not like a human form.
Kind of a translucent form.
You do seem a little translucent, yeah.
Okay. And they're almond shaped, right?
Kind of like a crescent shape.
Crescent shape.
Yeah,
Oh,
that kind of almond shape.
Okay. So it's a peaceful scene. There is no killing or anything, right?
No.
Okay. And people who are carried to the top, what happens to them?
They turned into these beings. Everyone did.
Oh, okay.
Entered into a circle, a group of other beings that were at the top, watching this fractalization of, I want to say, matter through the pyramid.
Okay. So they transform from a human form into that form, that like an almond crescent form, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
They entered into a space where they became the god that they are.
Okay.
I think we should use the word God in a very open idea of maybe the fractalization of God that we all are.
Okay, like a spirit, maybe?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you standing or sitting?
I feel like I'm hovering.
What was that?
I'm hovering.
Oh, you're hovering.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I am one of these energies that's in this circle. And there is I have a wolf energy. Like if maybe what I saw during the induction was someone with a wolf kind of headdress on their head, and it was coming down. And I've used this in my art in multiple manifestations, in Paul's art. And so I'm sensing this wolf energy that is part of this fractal of being that I am.
So what happens next?
It's important to revere the energy of that moment, to recognize the power of non-being and this portal of manifestation, the shape, the fractal dark and yellow red energy. First you enter into your state of godliness and you recognize the manifestation you've taken on. And I was getting that it was a wolf energy, and everyone was different. And the point of it is to stand there and be in that energy, to kind of transition into that energy and just be there for a while you look into this portal of energy that's moving and shifting. And this is a ritual to work with that energy. And like we understand sacrifices to ask the gods, ask the energy for something. And I want to clarify that we are gods. And that's why it's important to be in that space of understanding your aspect of God, and that looking into this portal, recognizing its divinity while recognizing your divinity. And this is the, if you will, law of attraction for manifestation, is to see yourself as a representation of source. And there's a feeling of reverie and love of self that exists within the fractalization of matter in front of us. And it's a heart connection that's made between each of the beings at the top around this. And that is where typical rituals, that's the process of the rituals, that if you come with an intention, then you can ask, or not ask, you just have to feel into your heart, into this portal as it shifts and changes and bleeds or goes into the earth to make things manifest in the world and for the tribe and for the world. There's really no boundaries to how it can manifest beyond what you will in the intention.
Mm-hmm. And these bodies that transform into energy when they go to the top, what happens to the actual physical body? Once they transform?
It doesn't exist. I just don't see them. Can't see beyond this experience of manifestation in this energetic form.
Great.
I know they're still there, but I can know they're still there. And it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, which is a funny thing to say. Matter, body, existence doesn't matter in this plane of reality.
Mm-hmm. Nice. You're doing really well. Now, let's leave that scene. We're just going to let that scene fade away. Just fade away. We are going to drift away from that scene and drift and float to another important day. A day that you consider to be important. Feel yourself drifting and floating and being drawn to another important time and place. And we are there now. What do you see? What is happening?
There's a man, and he is an indigenous person. He has sort of a headpiece that has one feather. He's older. He's got lines on his face and creases, and he's not wearing any clothes. There's the kind of necklace made of beads all in a row, but it expands across his chest. Kind of comes around his neck and then expands out across his chest and down to his waist. I think it's maybe just in the front, though. It might tie around in the back so that it doesn't move around a lot. And he has on some leather as a sort of cloth over his lower area. It's short. You can see his legs, and he's barefoot. And he is working on something. And there are others around, sense that, like, there are children. And when coming into this scene, I felt very sad, but he seems fine. okay. He's just working. He's working with his hands, sort of maybe whittling or creating something from wood. He might be creating a flute. Like a flute.
How many children are there? Do you see a lot of children?
I see teepees, and I was seeing one child that was playing, maybe a boy, and he was nearby. It might be his son. Because he's nearby. And there's people doing things around in the area. Other people are doing things. This little boy is close.
Are you standing or sitting?
Sitting.
Okay. What are you sitting on? What kind of surface?
It's kind of like a blanket. It feels like tanned hide, leather. Although there's like a wood stump I might be sitting on. Maybe, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Look at your feet and tell me what they look like.
Barefoot.
Okay.
Tan, dark skin. Strong feet. Strong legs.
Are you wearing anything?
Just the kind of loinclothy leather, and then this, I don't know what to call it, just a beaded stuff thing on my front.
Okay. Are you carrying anything?
I'm creating flute.
You're creating what?
A flute.
Oh, you're making a flute. Okay.
Out of wood.
Okay. Does the body feel male or female?
Male.
Young or old?
I am probably around 55 or so.
Okay.
56.
Okay. Does the body feel healthy?
It does.
Okay. How does it feel to be there for you? Are you having any emotions?
It feels really good. It feels peaceful and clear. There's clarity about just everyone around is just doing whatever they are supposed to be doing. It's feels free. There's freedom. It feels like, a very productive society. The children are playing and everyone is supporting the group in their unique way. And there is reverie for the earth and for the land. I am part of a nomadic tribe. We move. We don't have houses or specific land that we own. we move with the seasons, and also as we're called to, based on the animals and the spirits. Everyone is in tune with themselves, with each other, and with the greater sense of energies of nature and the world.
Mm-hmm. What kind of food do you eat?
We are hunters, so we eat meat that we find.
Mm-hmm.
We use bow and arrow, and also the plants that the just whatever's around, the plants that sustain us, as well as meat.
Okay.
But we don't grow food, we forage.
Okay.
So it changes based on where we go.
Okay.
Seasons.
Mm-hmm. Let's go to the place where you sleep and eat. And now you're there. Tell me what it looks like.
It is surprisingly large, but it's a construction of like a teepee,
Uh-huh.
constructed of natural materials. And there is soft hand hides that we lay on and sit on.
You have a sense of whether you have a family.
I feel alone in this space, but I'm also sensing the presence of some kind of soldier.
Uh-huh.
That has entered into the equation. I saw when you said, "Where do I live?" I saw someone with a long rifle, and it was almost like a World War I suit or something, which doesn't make sense, but I'm just going with it.
Uh-huh.
But it was this long rifle. It was sort of leaning on, and kind of a posture of listening, but also not really, it wasn't part of the group. And I sensed him in my home.
Okay.
He was talking to me.
Mm-hmm.
We were meeting. He wasn't sitting, he was standing. And like the butt of the rifle was on the ground, and he was holding with his right hand the muzzle of the rifle.
Mm-hmm.
And sort of a stance of being open, but also open with a rifle in his hand.
Okay.
But not like pointing it, yeah.
Okay. What does he look like?
Kind of in fatigues or uniform, definitely a uniform. And I see a hat, but almost like a hard hat. Um, he's like, it shifts in and out. I'm not really getting a good.
Okay.
He sort of feels like a mustache guy, but he's definitely in a uniform with this long rifle and almost like a helmet hat on.
Mm-hmm. What color is his skin? Can you tell?
He's very weathered white person, white man.
Yep.
Older, he's got his mustache is kind of grayed and it's like salt and pepper.
Mm-hmm.
You can't really see his hair, but he's been out in the elements for a while. He's seasoned both in hair and skin.
And he's inside the teepee with you?
He was inside the teepee.
Okay. And what happens next?
We're talking.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sitting. I feel like I'm still working on my flute, sort of just doing what I'm doing. He's not going to stop me.
Okay.
But it's not, he's open, but he's still got he's standing in his power pose with his gun. But he's listening. He's a weary friend in the sense, leery? No, what's the word? Wary. He's a wary friend.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure who's more wary, him or me.
Okay.
Not a deep sense of trust between us.
Okay. Now let's leave that scene. We are just going to let that scene fade away. Just fade away. We are going to drift away from that scene and drift and float to another important day. A day that you consider to be important. And now you're there. What do you see? What is happening?
I'm on a horse. And I'm riding slowly. I feel like I'm riding through some after effects of war, or like maybe since there's been some destruction. And there's a few of us that are riding through this. It's like a burnt landscape. And it's not joyous. It feels very deflated. There's no, it feels just apathetic, not really sad or joyful. It's just, but it's not a good feeling. It feels like giving up, just fuck it. It was just too much. So we're, few of us have a little more, not sure if it's the weather and it's cold, or, but we have a little more clothing on and it's kind of colorful things that were made by others in our tribe and that were special to us, maybe made by the women of the tribe. They might even be their clothes or some of their decorations or something.
What was that destruction about? Can you tell?
It was a lack of understanding. The conversation I was trying to have with him to gain trust and further share our stories and the ways they just could not understand who we were and the ways that we live. And the sense of the moving out on the horses through this destruction is that it was better to burn it down than to give it over. So it was a fight, and they wanted us to change and to lose our way of living, and decided to just burn it down instead of just give it over. And that meant losing everything that we had because it didn't help.
And who were these people that were asking you to change?
I feel like I'm in the Americas, in North America, and a tribe that lived peacefully with the land, and it was the European settlers that came, and not the first ones, but the ones that came west.
And they destroyed your tipos, tupis, and your...
We destroyed it.
Okay.
We burned it down. They were trying to enslave us, maybe not as slaves, but they would have done that, but they were also just trying to change everything, enslave our minds, enslave our spirit, and we wouldn't let that happen. So we burned it down, and now we are taking the remnants of what is left and just on these horses trying to move away.
Mm-hmm. So you didn't submit to their demands to change, right?
In that instance, no.
Okay. And now you and your colleagues, your friends are on a horse going somewhere else to continue living?
We had to move because there was nothing left to see.
Okay.
Just like we're nomads, we move anyway. And this was one more instance of the need to shift and transform.
Yep. Now let's leave that scene. We're just going to let that scene fade away. We're going to drift away from that scene and drift and float to another important day. A day that you consider to be important. And we're there now. What do you see? What is happening?
I see that I've been caught
Mhm.
and I'm being tortured,
Mhm.
and it's like they've put ropes on all my wrists and ankles, and then they have horses on the ends of the ropes that are pulling in all different directions.
Mhm.
I see this as I'm disassociated from the body. I'm looking at it from a distance. So it is possible that I'm already dead.
Mhm.
The soul is watching the final
Mhm.
destruction of that body.
Mhm. Do you get a sense of why they did that to you?
They fear me.
Sorry?
They fear me.
Okay. Are those,
All of them.
uh and who are those people that did this?
This feels less like the soldiers and more just other settlers that are just fearful.
Mhm.
They're afraid. They don't understand.
Okay. What color is their skin?
As this spirit that's looking onto this scene, I feel like I've gone back into that place where the corporeal form is less apparent, and I'm seeing it from a different understanding of I'm not sure I
Mhm.
can decipher who
Mhm.
or what, but I rise up in a way to understand it from a different perspective of
Mhm.
they just didn't understand.
Yes. Yes.
And
Mhm. So whatever happened has already happened, and you're on the other side of it now. From that perspective, you can see that entire life, and you can see what has happened to the body. Also, from that perspective, you can see the entire life. Every life has a lesson. What do you think was the lesson of that life?
a deepening of the beliefs
Mhm.
that connect us with nature, a deepening of the understanding of working with the universe in every way.
Uh-huh.
And that came from having that taken away, people wanting to take it away.
Uh-huh. Do you think there were any other lessons?
I'm feeling very sad at what happened in that lifetime.
Okay. Now, every life also has a purpose. What do you think was the purpose of that life?
The purpose of that life was to understand the connection with nature that can be had through human form.
Mm-hmm.
When you open to a different system of understanding, you can connect with all kinds of things because everything has its own vibration and its own soul and energy. In that lifetime, in that tribe, there was a deep connection to the earth and all of the things that were part of it, including people and including the people that were fearful of our ways. We understood them just as well, and that's where the destruction wasn't against them as much as defending and deconstructing the things that they wanted, so that, because they would not understand they didn't understand the way that we did it, so we destroyed those things rather than lose the ability to safeguard those things. It's just like when you have to burn the fields in order for new energy to grow. It wasn't an act of retribution or revenge as much as it needed to be burned. All of it needed to be burned so that it could grow anew, and the destruction that we experienced and the great sadness that we experienced was just part of the transformation. And by their lives being destructed as well, it was just part of the transformation that needed to happen so that the old paradigm of their existence could possibly be broken open. And we knew that, and they could not understand that, but it was what had to happen. So the purpose of that life was to have that greater understanding of transcendence and the understanding of nature and the natural laws that allow us to move and evolve and grow, and sometimes is hard.
Mm-hmm. You're out of the body now. How does that feel to be out of the body, out of the physical body?
I feel like there's more rage out of the body than there was in the body.
More rage, you said?
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean?
There's a part of the soul that needs to express its anger. There was, maybe this is another purpose of that lifetime, that the awareness, the spiritual awareness of the customs and transcendent understanding of others and life, great, we burn it down. So it is the way to burn it down, to transform, but there is an anger that is not connected to with that transcendent spiritualism, and it is human. And that is part of the shame and the ongoing rage through the ancestral lineage that needs to be released and it hasn't been expressed because there's that ongoing understanding in the cells of the ancestors that it is the way fucking hurt, and you're human, we're all human, and even lashing out didn't help. So in this liminal space outside of the body, there's this remnant of anger and pain from the human experience. It is one of the conditions and remnants of that experience for many. And it drives people to escape from it because it's at the heart. And you lose your faith. How could something so horrible happen to such peaceful people?
So that was the beginning of the ancestral lineage of destruction, that event that you were killed by the European settlers, I think.
It's so much more than that. Yes.
Okay. Now let's drift away from that life. We're drifting and floating away from that life, leaving the man there to continue on his own journey. He will find peace. He will find what he's supposed to find. We are leaving him there to continue on his own journey. He will find peace. He will find what he's supposed to find. We are leaving him there to continue on his own path. Now I want all of the consciousness and personality to once again return to the body and fully integrate back into the body. May I speak to the subconscious, please? Thank you. Do I have permission to ask questions?
Yes.
Thank you. I know the subconscious could have brought forth many different lifetimes. You chose to bring forward a life where she was living in South America or Central America, and there was a pyramid. People were being carried up the pyramid and going to spirit. Why did you choose that life to show her?
Her intention was to understand what the ancestral pain and trauma was, as well as the gifts and the power.
Was that the Mayan civilization with the pyramids?
The pyramid was a Mayan civilization. And we actually showed multiple lifetimes in tribal ancestry. But it is the same trauma. It was a nomadic tribe, but the beginning was in the pyramid was to understand the deep connection and understanding of how the peoples honor themselves. And when we think of sacrifice, that there wasn't, it wasn't the trauma that's you see in Hollywood. that there was a reverence, that the reverence of the ways, the reverence of nature, of spirit, of being your own God, and understanding your specific energies that are aligned with different animals and places. When you connect so deeply, you experience the oneness, but also the sovereign of each individual soul's manifestation.
Thank you for that. Just curious, how many Earth years ago was that when she was by the pyramid, the Mayan life?
There are so many different ways to count time. It's difficult to answer these questions.
Okay.
It was the year of the ram.
Mm-hmm. And what country was that today? That location, what country is that today where the pyramid was?
I'm seeing it today as it might not even be clear that it is a pyramid. It's covered in a jungle type setting. There's tall trees that are very green and leafy. There's vines.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting like Mexico.
Okay. Now, thank you for that. Moving on to the life where she was an American Indian, a nomadic tribe. What would you like her to know about that life?
Intention to clear the trauma of the ancestors is appreciated.
Okay.
She's wise and understanding that she has the ability of her ancestors to see beyond the moment and to do more than react, but to see it from a spiritual perspective. And also, she needs to remember that she is human and that there were human lives that existed. It's almost a detriment to think of things so spiritually. It's almost like spiritual bypassing, which I hate that term. But we have to remember that humans really do have emotions, and anger is one of them. And it's not been easy her entire life to feel that anger. So that life in particular is part of that resistance, or I guess it's a resistance to feel that anger while also understanding so clearly the greater need for the evolution of the spirit and soul in form. And those experiences are part of that, but she needs to connect for the ancestors, and for many, as many do, without reacting. And this is a wonderful place to do it in the quantum realm, to be able to clear and cleanse that energy for herself and her family and so on.
Yep. Yep, we are going to do that. Go ahead. What was that?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Is it appropriate to request a body scan?
We can do that now.
Yes, please. We can scan the body and let us know if when you find something that needs healing.
The high heart, right below the throat and above the heart.
Okay, what's going on there?
That is where the energy and the anger is stuck.
Okay.
It's blocking the connection, spirit into matter.
Okay. Would the higher self be kind enough to clear that blockage?
Yeah.
I'm sorry?
I'm seeing energy like lightning that is coming down from above and around the higher heart and energy. And it's like the blockage is in the shape of two hands that are together, like praying, and different manifestations of wringing your hands, and then and this lightning kind of energetic from above is coming down to sort of shock the energy that is being blocked. And actually it takes me back to the portal that I saw at the top of the pyramid. And that hands turn into that portal. And it sort of churns or spins into that area, bringing light and energy, just kind of spinning off the gunk.
Spinning that gunk is one of the ways that of removing it, correct?
Yeah, almost like a diamond drill of energy that's just, we'll go with the lava again, it's just hard, concretized surface that needs to be drilled through, that needs to be broken up. Spinning off into the ether, deteriorating. And it's a very thick wall of gunk.
It's being cleared, right? We'll just wait. Give the higher self a moment to complete the cleanup. Higher self, can I continue speaking while you do the clearing, or would you like me to remain silent?
We can try.
I'm sorry?
It should be fine.
Okay. Multitasking, right?
Quantum.
Yep. I wish I could do that. So higher self, can I Higher self, please continue the body scan and let us know when you find something.
The heart is, this is the main point that we're working on today, is the heart. And we have created a big hole, and there is still pain. And we call in the ancestors, the elements, to bring in the four corners and rebuild the strength of the sacred being inside. We call in all of the animals and the ancestors that are here to support all on this journey. And there's many that are unexpected, like an elephant.
The archangels are here. They can help too.
Yes, an angel already showed up before we opened the sacred space and brought in the animals and it's supporting the
Great.
pieces and bring in the light.
Thanks everyone for all your help. She will really appreciate it.
And the tightness is lessening as we bring in the light, as the sacred space for this being, the sacred being, is held.
Higher self, can the healing be completed in this session? I would hope.
There's no reason why it needs to continue.
Okay. Thank you so much. Now, going forward after this session, is there anything that she should or should not do so that this won't happen again, this problem won't come back?
It's less about the sacred being, and it is more about her lineage.
Okay.
That we are sending energy as we fill the sacred hole with light from above, from the sun. And the sun sends light all over through time and non-time, living and non-living, to the beings across universes. All the beings that were misunderstood, from her ancestors and descendants and cousins and aunts of both paternal and maternal. And we send that energy through the sun as it fills this sacred being into other sacred beings. So they may release that anger and exist in form without destructing themselves. and be open to the knowledge of their incredible empowerment and infinite experience and oneness.
Mhm. This is what her intention was for this session. So she's really going to appreciate it. Thank you, everyone, for doing this.
It's the beginning of the empowerment of the soul sign birth that you're all doing so well.
Hmm? What do you mean by it's the beginning?
There's been so much trauma in so many realms and lives, and it's pushed everyone to the breaking point, and it will push everyone to the breaking point, but it's in that breaking point it's that you finally open to new perspectives, to the greater understanding of who you truly are. You cannot be in these bodies any longer and deny all of your power. It feels destructive and you want to destroy. If you don't accept your power, you don't have to be afraid of that. That's what everyone is feeling, is the breaking point. And it will happen. It will continue. So it's just the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Beginning of a new and better life.
Eventually.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
A new and better understanding of life.
Yes, yes. When you understand life better, then it changes it, correct?
It changes you, yes.
Yeah, yeah. Now, is the healing being done on her alone, or is it being done on her parents, grandparents, grandparents?
Through the rays of the sun.
I'm sorry?
Through the rays of the sun.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's reaching all dimensions and all timelines and across the globe.
Great.
As well as.
Great. Are there any lessons you want her to learn with respect to this issue?
This is something that can be done from any pain. To imagine, she did this when she had COVID. And now as well. So in the pain, you intend for you connect with spirit, with your guides, with your higher self, and you intend for the pain, which can be transformed in your mind to something else. The chills that she was having during COVID, but in her mind were the spirit coming down and sending energy throughout her body and boosting her immune system. And now this healing of the ancestral pain and anger, of this lack of understanding and forced exclusion from any society that is known. The light that is coming down to heal that tightness and rid of the energetic block in the high heart, the thymus gland, can be sent. It's almost like the diamond drill is sending the pieces to the ether as well as sending the light through the ether to other points on the globe or in the universe, and you can intend and imagine that that energy is flowing like ripples in a pond and reaching points wherever they need to go with intention. You can send it to a specific person, or you can just allow and surrender the healing of the body, as well as all levels and layers of the being and the ancestral line, and keep expanding that as needed, as desired.
Okay.
So pain is not a bad thing. Just because you feel pain, just like death, we can utilize as humans this energy if we connect to spirit to evolve and to heal, not just ourselves and the pain, but with the intention of the mind to allow that to transform. It may seem simplistic, but it's actually very difficult for humans to go beyond the mind and allow spirit to work through them in order. The pain itself is a conduit to break open. That makes sense.
No pain, no gain.
Oh no.
Yeah, we know a few things here in 3D also.
Thank you.
Thank you. While you work on the healing, can I ask a few of her questions?
Yes.
What Native American tribe were my ancestors from?
Hearing Comanche.
Comanche, okay. Next question. What is the trauma that has hindered us through the paternal lineage? Can that be healed today? If not, what is the ongoing lesson to be understood? I think this question has already been answered. Been answered. Okay.
That is correct.
Next question. What is the attraction I have to music and sound healing?
She already knows this, but these vibrations that we are showing her of healing like ripples in a pond, sound is also like ripples in a pond, and it's just another form that has been so prevalent to be used to move the emotions as well as the voice. We forget that sound healing is, we forget that the voice is an essential and original sound healing. And our words are so very important. What we speak is the manifestation of sound healing. And so the intention and the words themselves and the connotations that go along with that, whether they can be bleeped out on TV or not, the intention behind the word bitch is not about a female dog when it is used often. So whether it's censored or not, the intention, the true intention that you know is behind your words is a healing or a destruction to your spirit and to your body. Mantras with correct intentions, Tibetan bowls that are created with the construction of prayers at the same time as the formation of the bowl all of these things are clear intentions that are made into sound healing tools. And it is a gift. Sound is a quality beyond words that she feels at a different level and has always done that. And she can tune in to herself and to her spirit. It is a direct connection to spirit when she tones certain frequencies. And she's grown to understand that more with the studies of sound healing recently. And we are here to confirm that.
Thank you. Next question. What is the current transformation with my home about? Where should I go? Where should I move? She's referring to the eminent domain that her house may need to be forcefully sold to the government.
There is a lot packed into that. And some of it is ancestral. Some of it is the recognition that there is no place that you can own as a white woman that is privileged enough to live on ancestral lands in North America. The greater understanding that for the good of all is important. And that is what eminent domain is about. And this is not intended for her to suffer. It is intended to understand that we don't own anything and that the visceral corporeal experience on this earth is transient at all times. And the energetic space that she will live in can be further enhanced no matter where she goes. She has ideas that are valid for places across the globe. And no matter where she goes, when she brings the intention of good and healing and connects with the land wherever it is, the land will guide her. The animals will guide her. The people that will come to celebrate in and on this land with her will guide each other.
I know that future is only a probability, but any idea whether her home, her current home, will be taken by the government? What are the chances?
It is highly likely. I see it as a new space. It is blank, and they will plant some trees and it will be transformed.
Mm-hmm.
There will be sculptures and
okay. Will the government compensate her fairly for the house?
fairly is an interesting word, and she has ruminated on this for a while.
I mean, like fair market value.
They will be paid well.
Yeah.
And what she needs to consider is it's not about the money, but the value.
Mhm.
The value of where she goes, and with the intention of working with the land and allowing the land to guide her and the energies in the community in support of wherever that is, those, whatever it costs, there's so much more value in the thing itself. And this is also something that she needs to convey, that the value of the existence in the community that she's in is essential to her quality of life. So once that is established, the amount of the money that they give her will be fair. But she needs to allow that spiritual approach to flowing with the next, to the next space, an intention of moving and transitioning, transforming whatever the next space, it will be transformed with her energy. But she can intend for that healing space to be hers, and it will flow together. It will be clear.
Thank you. What types?
She just needs to be. There will be bees. She needs to follow the bee and just be.
What types of places are most aligned with her
Energetically to move to.
Places with birds and bees, places where eagles, there will be eagles. She wants trees, and trees can be planted. It's about the people that she will be finding and that will find her. And it's very much about the land and understanding the energy of the land. There are guides that are working for her and with her that will guide her. There are many probabilities, and we know that you like to know, but this lesson is about connecting and allowing the energy of the land to connect. And in that sense, there's no space that is limited. If she's drawn to it, if both her and her husband are drawn to it, they can make it what they need. And that is the lesson in this journey, is to connect with the land and the energy and manifest the healing for both of them from this process, which goes back to the ancestral lineage of losing, quote unquote, the land. And part of this entire journey is healing that sense of rejection, loss, and anger from losing the land, and a greater understanding of you can manifest whatever you want with the intention and with the guidance of spirit.
Thank you. How can she best connect with the land
Energetically to understand whether it's the land, a particular land's energy is compatible with her?
The birds and the bees will be a sign. There's definitely eagles that will come and show her, and there will be bees. And once she has arrived, it's very much about digging in the dirt, sitting on the land, digging in the dirt, creating that next space for divine creation and healing for many people.
Thank you. Next question is, how can I best blend all the healing modalities that I work in?
It's a lot. She has been exploring so many different modalities that it's confusing for her. She would benefit from focusing, and she's starting to tune into this, to the energy of all of them that is in the quantum realm. And it is her choice to continue to explore different modalities, and there's nothing wrong with that. But in order to create something, there's an alchemy that happens from many different instances, and there is an alchemy that can happen from all of the different modalities, but she has to slow down and stop exploring such diversity and allow some synchronicities to occur between the different modalities, and to give herself space. This new home she needs to intend for it to give her space in order to bring it all together. That's the most beautiful thing that you can do as a human, is to give yourself, if you will, time to really alchemize and blend and manifest something that is your intention.
Since you know her very well, what types of modalities are best compatible with her, best suited for her, or resonate best with her? Is it BQH? Is it sound? Is it QHHT?
I'm sensing Dolores.
Mm-hmm.
There is a beautiful gift that she has, bringing the sound and the intention and the energy of the voice into the quantum healing realm. And it can be with music. And she is going to the immersion retreat in May. And when she opened up Convoluted Universe, she went to a passage where Dolores was explaining that all of this energy that she put out and put into QHHT was being given so that we could grow and do it in new ways, and also to teach and to educate, because this is part of the beginning of a greater understanding of things breaking open in order to evolve and to become more spiritual beings. No, we are spiritual beings. Maybe it is the recognition that humans are spiritual beings in transient vessels. And part of the evolution of consciousness is this work. And it doesn't matter. She's drawn to things that are all really equal as she desires. And that is the beauty of your will and following your heart and following the spirit that you are to lead you. And it would be wrong of us to give any indication outside of follow your heart. Your heart knows. Isn't that what it says?
We focus on BQH or also study QHHT, become certified in QHHT?
She has never been one for rules. So BQH works really well with the many different modalities that she can bring and wants and will follow her heart to bring.
Okay. Understood. How's the the energy blockage clearing progressing now? Are you still working on that?
It is mostly released. There is continued energetic soothing that is happening, but that can continue outside of this session. It is good.
So everything that you can do and her team can do has already been done in this session?
We would like to support the soul fragment that watched his body get torn apart by the horses.
Okay.
This by heart was the fragment that was left after those horses went their separate ways.
Okay. You're bringing those fragments back now?
We are.
Okay. Thank you.
As that fragment gets reconstituted into the sacred being, it brings the gifts and further messages that will allow her to follow her heart. And we allow the lightness of the energies of the universe to flow into the soul of the previous life, the ancestral lineage, and the beauty of that transition to be understood and accepted without the pain and anger and shame. And that is complete.
Thank you. I know the focus of healing for today was the blockage, ancestral blockage, but are there any other areas in her body where she could benefit from healing, since she's here now in a perfect state to receive healing.
We are downloading the energy of the hummingbird,
Mm-hmm.
the sweetness of life that is not masked by sugar, the beauty of finding the sweetness in the outreach of your hand to another, the sweetness of giving and receiving from the smell of a flower, or watching the transformation of clouds, the ripples on the water, the natural sweetness that exists in every moment, the feeling of the cool breeze on the skin on a hot day, the sweetness of understanding, the cellular change as sun hits your skin, and the sweetness of connecting to the earth on the soft grass or even hard concrete, that you are alive, and that every moment provides the opportunity for love and gratitude and the grace when you open your heart and follow it. And that is complete.
Thank you. What is the purpose of
Downloading the hummingbird energy.
Everything we just said is the hummingbird energy.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Hummingbird goes to the sweetness and can find it anywhere. It is drawn to it in nature. And sometimes those fake little things that you fill with sugar, but it can find it.
Okay.
It's a North Star energy.
Do you have any lifestyle recommendations for her? Diet, activities, whatnot?
Balance is good. Tai Chi is something that she should continue to do. She's begun doing yoga. That is beneficial, but there seems to be some block. So if you don't enjoy it, you're not going to continue to do it. She enjoys Tai Chi, the movement of it, where yoga confuses her sometimes. She should follow her heart and not beat herself up for the things she feels like she should do, but she should move more. Stretching is great, and Tai Chi is just as equally beneficial as yoga for her. There's been a lot of transformation recently, and she's doing really good. It's okay to find balance and not be so extreme. You're going to be fine if you have a little sweet dessert and there is utter resistance to that, and that's okay. Find balance. Just be at peace. When you are at peace, the things that you eat will continue to support you. Balance is needed.
Can you talk about balance?
What do you mean exactly?
Don't overdo any one thing.
Okay.
Recognize when it is overdone and allow all of the energies around what you're overdoing, what you're trying to mask, to come forth, because that's why you were doing it in that extreme way. So balance of finding the sweetness, cutting sugars recently was important. So she can be more of a clear channel and receive the information that will come, that is coming. And also to stay around longer. But literal balance as well. Finding that place where you aren't moving forward or leaning to one side, finding literal balance and stretching and being in the center of your being, both energetically and physically. If you can be balanced physically, then you are likely balanced energetically.
Last question that she has is,
what other advice from my higher self is there for me to be of service in this moment of awakening?
Oh, beautiful one. Just let the love of Source flow through you. Don't deny your power. Don't obscure the energies through extreme manifestations of imbalance. Be open. You are all such beautiful beings of love and light. From our perspective, we see you as these glowing fractals that exist on and of the earth. And your energy is so expansive. And when you are clear and you allow the love of who and what you are to shine, there are no limitations. There are no blocks. And it doesn't matter the ancestral pain or trauma or shame. You can move freely and grow and glow beyond anything you can imagine. Your energy is our energy. And we are all one. We need you to set yourself free, to recognize your divinity, to feel the love that you are. It is hard where you are. And it is the point, and remember that you love that hardness. It is what is helping us all transform into something new. We've never done this before. And that's okay. That's the fun part. When you recognize that, it's less hard. The hard has a purpose. And you really are divine beings that are helping us all move forward into new ways and new light and new energy. And you have so much support. Don't be afraid. Do not be afraid. There's nothing to fear. There's nothing to fear. Nothing.
May we ask Dolores Cannon to come for a brief moment here?
Yes.
Please let us know when she's here.
Dolores has been here the entire time.
I'm sorry?
Dolores has been here the entire time.
Oh, I hope we didn't bore her to death. So Dolores, Nick would like to say happy birthday to you.
Well, thank you.
We wish you a very big and sweet astral cake with lots of candles on it. You brought a huge gift to the humanity.
The best birthday present is being in the company of so many beautiful quantum healers.
Do you have any messages?
The purpose of the work has been exemplified today in many manifestations that are beyond what I taught and beyond even what you thought you could do, what either of you thought you could do.
Mm-hmm.
Follow your internal guidance. That's why I didn't have a message for Nicole.
Okay.
Follow your internal guidance. The work is not about how it's classified. You know this. You both know this.
Thank you.
Good work. You're doing great work. Keep going.
Thank you.
Much more to do.
Thank you. Yes.
Trust your guidance, your internal guidance.
Okay.
You have a connection to your aspect of self and source. And when you trust that, you have to break the rules that I made. And you will grow, and for yourself as well as your clients.
Yes.
There is a deep guidance system that you are part of. It goes back many lifetimes. And everyone, all of those are like a line of beings that are supporting you in this work and in everything that you want to do. And they are guiding you, and you can trust that.
Yes. Thank you,
Do you know how
Dolores.
to trust that?
Yes. Thank you, Dolores. May I speak with
Yourself, please. My grandfather, Pet White. Is he here with us today?
That is here.
Okay. Thank you, Pet, for coming today. Is it appropriate to ask Pet to give a message?
Yes.
Pet, please go ahead.
Wow, this is a lot. I am shocked and grateful for your work. I was so absorbed in the life that I had that I couldn't give back, and I feel so burdened. And I was so burdened. And this work today, thank you, has supported the release of so many individuals, including myself, and it's a lot. It's shocking. I never knew. And I'm thankful. I feel a release of the sadness. And that's, I never knew how much it would affect all the family that came after me. I'm so grateful that there is this possibility of lifting their trauma and pain. So many ancestors. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Pet. It was so good to hear from you, Pet. I'm sure. I don't want to interrupt. Were you finished, Pet?
Not a man of many words. I conveyed my gratitude and love. Thank you.
Thank you, Pet. We wish you the best. Of all the beautiful souls who are here, guides, guardian angels, higher self, anyone else, does anyone or collectively, do you have any messages before we conclude this session?
We share in her enthusiasm for what is to come. This is the beginning of a new paradigm, era, dawn of a new age. We are here supporting each of you with the light of the universe blowing through you, if you will allow, to move forward in new ways. There's nothing to fear. You're right on path. Thank you for your work. We love you immensely. And if you could just feel that love, to know that you are that love. That is all.
Thank you for the message. May I ask who was speaking just now?
Part of the collective that is galactic team, that is part of so many galactic teams. She has known me as Uriel, but there are many names.
Mm-hmm. By the way, where is Old Soul from originally? Which star system?
She has been on many
Okay.
families. Arcturian and Syrian are prominent in this manifestation.
Okay.
The Hathors, the ancient beings that nurtured the mantis race, that nurtured the spirituality on the planet that you exist on. Yeah.
Thank you. Will you notice anything differently as a result of today's session?
We've brought some balance and to her physical body, as well as the mental body. She will feel grounded after this. And the high heart is more able to receive the information from those galactic ancestors. And it will feel, she will not think, she will feel a connection of the heart and mind will be more fluid with this release and allowing of the peace of this transformation.
Thank you. How has this experience been for the higher self?
We love this experience. We love to be able to speak through each of you and to you and share our love. We love to be seen. Aren't you?
Yep.
It's difficult to get through sometimes. So we are thankful in all of these journeys, in the many manifestations. Thank you for helping us be seen and heard today.
Thank you. Should she do this again?
She will do this again.
Okay.
But she will work with you again.
Okay. Thank you for that. Now I'm asking the subconscious to recede to where it belongs.